and attacking the Nephi and his people, they split off. They went to another location, and for at least 200 or 300 years, they remained there. Now, it is common amongst populations that are of this descent, these lineages, to not intermarry with other lineages. As far as Lehi's group being a genetic drop in the bucket, that is something that is certainly the case when they first arrived here. But if Nephi and his group actually went off separately and then for several hundred years didn't intermarry, didn't break their covenants, and stayed within their lineage, then we have really a rather large population now that has developed and continued to develop. And we know that this population was at least somewhat intact because Mormon, at the very end of the Book of Mormon, describes himself thus. He says, "I am Mormon and am a pure descendant of Lehi." Now, how did he know that he was a pure descendant of Lehi? They must have been keeping records. And certainly we know that they were, in fact, keeping records. The Nephites were. The third aspect is, well, the Book of Mormon populations were eliminated through genetic bottlenecks, meaning that the posterity of Lehi is not found today because at some point their population had a genetic bottleneck such that no remaining DNA signature is detectable. An example of a bottleneck would be Noah and the flood. If one tribe comes over and steals all of the women from another tribe and take them back, well, it's going to genetically alter both of those tribes' genetic makeup over time. So that is also a possible explanation of why no DNA evidence has been found in Central America in favor of the Book of Mormon. Aren't these explanations satisfactory? Well, there are certainly plausible justifications to explain why no Book of Mormon DNA has been found in Mesoamerica and why it's not expected to be found. See, we have scholars who said, well, we don't find any evidence in favor of the Book of Mormon, and really we don't expect to find any because of those three reasons. And my question is why would we not expect to find some evidence for the claims that are made in the Book of Mormon and the prophecies and the promises that specifically state no less than 17 times that in the latter days there will be a remnant left of the house of Israel found on the promised land? 17 times. Let's take a look at some of these scriptures and see if you agree with this. 2 Nephi chapter 9 verse 53 states this, "And now behold, how great the covenants of the Lord, how great his condescensions unto the children of men, and because of his greatness and his grace and mercy, he has promised unto us that our seed shall not utterly be destroyed." What is someone's seed? If you are a parent, you understand what your seed is. It is your little children, your offspring. They are genetically related to you, according to the flesh, but that he would preserve them, and in future generations they shall become a righteous branch unto the house of Israel. My question is how are they going to be a righteous branch unto the house of Israel if they have no genetic relationship to Israel? When it says that our seed will not utterly be destroyed, I believe that that also indicates that the genetic relationship will not be destroyed, that is not going to be lost forever. 2 Nephi chapter 30 verse 4 says, "And then shall the remnant of our seed know concerning us, how that we came out of Jerusalem, and that they are descendants of the Jews." How are they going to know that they are descendants of the Jews if they have no genetic tie to the house of Israel? 3 Nephi chapter 21 verse 2 through 4, and this is Christ now speaking. He says, "It shall be made known unto the Gentiles that they may know concerning this people, who are a remnant of the house of Jacob." So Christ indicates that this people he's speaking to, the people that are with him in his vicinity, are the remnant of the house of Jacob, and concerning this my people, who shall be scattered by them, meaning the Gentiles. Now, I find it interesting that Christ calls these people my people. Is Christ genetically related to the house of Israel? Yes, he is. It is interesting that he calls them my people both here in the Book of Mormon and also in the Doctrine and Covenants. And it shall come to pass of the Father from them unto you, meaning the remnant, those who are going to be left here, for it is wisdom in the Father that they, meaning the Gentiles, shall be established in this land, the land that he's on, and be set up as a free people by the power of the Father, that these things might come forth from them unto a remnant of your seed, that the covenant of the Father may be fulfilled. Remember, the covenant is with the house of Israel. If these people have no genetic relationship with the house of Israel, then they either have to be people who were grafted in, or I don't know how the covenant could be fulfilled. 1 Nephi chapter 15, verse 14 states, and at that day shall the remnant of our seed know that they are of the house of Israel. This scripture specifically indicates to me that at some point in time, the remnant that is left on the promised land are going to find out, and they are going to know that they are actually of the house of Israel, and that they are the covenant people of the Lord, and then shall they know and come to the knowledge of their forefathers, and also to the knowledge of the gospel. It sounds to me like that the remnant of the Lamanites are not going to really blossom as the rose, as the Book of Mormon prophesies, until after they know. They will gain a knowledge of the gospel of their Redeemer, which was ministered unto their fathers by him. Wherefore they shall come to the knowledge of their Redeemer and the very points of his doctrine, that they may know how to come unto him and be saved. When they find out who they are, they will embrace the gospel and come unto him because of these prophecies and the promises, the covenants that the Lord has made with the house of Israel. This is Ether, chapter 13, verses 6 and 8. And that a new Jerusalem should be built upon this land unto the remnant of the seed of Joseph, for which things there has been a type. Wherefore the remnant of the house of Joseph shall be built upon this land, and it shall be a land of their inheritance, and they shall build up a holy city unto the Lord, like unto the Jerusalem of old. So again, this is tying the new Jerusalem in with this land, and that this is the land of their inheritance. So back to the DNA here for just a second. This is from Evolutionary Anthropology, Volume 12. This is 2003 article. Although haplogroup X is now accepted as a pre-Columbian Native American haplogroup, controversy still surrounds its origin. While the other Native American haplogroups are found in Central and East Asia, haplogroup X has not until quite recently been identified that far east, occurring in highest frequencies in Europe and in Western Asia. This led to the hypothesis, fueled by morphometric studies of the Kennewick Man remains in Washington State and other Paleo-Indian remains, that there was a prehistoric migration of Europeans to the New World. In American Journal of Physical Anthropology 2002 article, they say, due to the absence of haplogroup X in East Asia, which has been presumed to be the homeland of the founders of Native America, diverse hypotheses have been proposed to explain the presence of this haplogroup in North America. How did it get here? Brown suggested the possibility of ancient European migration to North America. Stanford in 1997 suggested that early Holocene Europeans used a transatlantic route to colonize the Americas. I like his idea because it seems to match up more closely with what the claims of the Book of Mormon are. In the Journal of Scientific Exploration in 2003, there is an article called The Fringe of American Archaeology, Transoceanic and Transcontinental Contacts in Prehistoric America. And this has some information that most people are not really aware of. It says this: pre-Columbian contact between the Americas and travelers from other continents and islands are highly probable, but the topic is taboo to mainstream American archaeologists. Why would it be taboo? Because they think that people did not have the technology to build a boat to sail on the oceans, but that they had to wait until there was an ice age in order to come over from Asia across a land bridge into North America. But then there's evidence that counters that. For example, this. Seagoing fishermen were in the North Atlantic in the first millennium BC, and probably earlier, indicated by bones of deep sea fish and coastal sites